So you want to play horror games but you're a big wet lettuce? Don't worry mate, I've got you covered. If you want to dip your toe into the genre and then move on to big boy horror games like Rogue Warrior, the true epitome of what horror's humanity is capable of, then try some of these games on the list. Some may argue some of these games aren't really horror, they just have elements of it. Well, that's the point for me really. You want a game with engaging gameplay but has enough horror to make you feel your bumhole twitching. So here we go, don't worry, no jump scares. Number 5, the Metro games. The Metro games do one thing amazingly well, and that is atmosphere. The claustrophobic, quiet tunnels of the Metro are dimly lit, and who knows what could be lurking in the shadows. But these kinds of moments are spread out between action and stealth sequences, so you have something else to focus on. Metro will also make you feel tense. Does my gas mask have enough air to make it across the surface? Well, only one way to find out. Do I have enough ammo in case a monster tries to eat my slightly radiated corpse? Each game has a good plot as well, so you've got that to keep you going too. It's a good introduction to survival horror. Depending on what difficulty you're on, you can make it as harsh as you want resource wise. Might help you get used to saving your ammo and health items for the big leagues. Top games all round, and I'd recommend them to anyone anyway. Number 4, Resident Evil 4. This was when Resident Evil went a more action-based route, and its campy tone and humour help ease you off the horror. You're not as vulnerable as in other Resident Evils, and you can feel pretty powerful thanks to awesome weapons and stylish melee moves. It's still quite tense though, and has some genuine scary sections like Salazar's hand and that Wolverine looking lad in the basement, but they are few and far between, and once you brave through them you can get back to blowing off villagers' nadgers. Crowd control is a huge part of the game, so getting used to being massively outnumbered is something you will have to do, but it's not to the point where it's going to intimidate you into turning the game off. You do have to manage your resources still, which again will get you trained up for more brutal survival horror games, and it's a top game anyway, so play it. Put it this way, the most horrifying thing in the game is Ashley's shrill arsehole voice. Number 3, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Shattered Memories is quite a divisive game. A lot of its detractors don't like it because it's not very scary. I happen to really like it just as a game, and it not being very scary is exactly what we want for this list. It's a reimagining of the first Silent Hill game where Harry Mason is still looking for his daughter Cheryl in the haunted town. But instead of having to confront horrendous looking monsters and managing your ammo and health items, you are mostly exploring the seemingly deserted town. There's little creepy goings on involving ghosts speaking through your Wii remote, but mostly it's a quiet time until you get into one of the chase sequences which ratchet the tension right up, but there isn't tons of these. But being chased is something you want to experience if you're going on to the likes of Outlast or Amnesia. The game claims it psychologically profiles you as you play, but it's not very subtle. One of the choices you get asked is what creature you fear, and then the one you pick appears later on. Ooh. It's a game where Wii remote controls actually work really well. Using it to move your flashlight, it creates a good immersive atmosphere, so that's enough reason to play it. Number 2, the Dark Pictures games. No doubt there are some good scares in the Dark Pictures, but these games are interactive horror films really, and you should imagine yourself as the director of the film. Don't like a character? Get them violently killed. There's engaging plots and characters in the 2 games released so far, so the intrigue can help you get through, and with the emphasis on dialogue choices and quick time events, you don't really have to worry about immediate danger. And the way you can alter your story by the choices you make the characters make is always a hook for replayability, and the games are quite short, so even if you do get too scared, soldier through it and it'll be over pretty soon. They can be played co-op as well, so that always helps when you have another person to be a puss with. I would recommend Until Dawn, which is the same devs, and for all the same reasons I recommended these 2 games. Number 1, Doom 3 BFG Edition. Now I know this might be controversial for some, as Doom 3 is pretty scary, but I reckon you should play this after the others on this list. I was going to put Doom 2016 on here as the game shows you that not all demons are scary, but let's be real, in Doom 2016 you play as the horror. Doom 3 though I think has a good balance of you being armed to the teeth and the enemies being a threat. If a monster has the gall to make you jump, then just blow its tits off with your chain gun. And I might add I picked the BFG edition because this has more generous ammo and your flashlight is able to use whilst holding guns, unlike the original version which made it more scary. It's quite claustrophobic with a good atmosphere thanks to its moody lighting and great sound design, not on the guns though weirdly. There's a lot of jump scares and creepy imagery through the whole thing, but that's okay, you have a whole armoury at your disposal to blow it all up. So there you go, 5 not so pant-pooing games that will ease you into horror. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me some other recommendations in the comments for the fellow wet lettuces out there. Cheers.
I'm such a mess, I'm lost, I'm no good at this. I'm in love, still in love, still in love with you. Hard as I try, I can't even drink this pain away. Memories of you, twisting my view. I've been a fool.